Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to a video all about what I am doing this year. More specifically, the events, the races, the things I am doing this year. A few people have asked me, so I figured I'd better start by figuring out what I'm doing this year, which I have done, hence why this video is happening. Now, you probably know what it's like. When you're planning out a year, there's loads of things you've got to think about, isn't there? Where are the events? How much are they to enter? Can you get the time off work? Do they suit your strengths and weaknesses? Do you want to do them? All those sorts of things. So bear that in mind when I'm talking about what I'm doing. There are all those factors at play. There might have been some events that I wanted to do but haven't been able to do because of those things. However, if there's anything you think that I would be interested in, please do let me know down below. I've left a few weekends free with that in mind so I can react to stuff and go to things I perhaps haven't done before. And also, if you're going to be at any events that I list, please do let me know down below. It'd be cool to see some people there. Now, because this is the way that I run this channel, I'm going to do this in a really weird order that makes no sense. I'm going to do swim, run, bike, triathlon. Got it? So firstly, swimming. It may shock you to hear that I have absolutely no plans to do any swimming events this year. Yes, I will do some triathlons, but I am not doing any open water swim races, pool races, whatever. It just ain't happening. Running. Now, I've thought long and hard about this, and I've definitely done things differently in the past, but I'm also not going to be focusing on any run events this year. Keyword focusing on. I will be doing some run races, but this will be part of my training. A couple of examples of that is I do quite want to do a half marathon at some point this year, and there's a local running road race league to me. There are 4 or 5 races between 5 and 6 miles in duration on roads local here. So I'm going to do those as part of training, and because I do want to become a better runner, but I just don't have the time, the will, the inclination to be able to say, right, for the next 3 months I'm going to train for this spring marathon, for example, or something. It's just not going to happen. Onto the bike then. There's a lot more going off here. Now, I'm going to caveat this by saying I enjoy riding my bike, so although I see myself as mainly a triathlete, I really enjoy riding my bike in the Peak District, in Derbyshire, time trialing, crit racing, all that sort of stuff. So that will be continuing. Whether it makes me a hybrid athlete or not, I'm not quite sure, but here we go. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of bike stuff this year, but only a few things am I going to be specifically focusing on. So I'm going to talk about those first, the events that I really want to either try and do well at or I'm going to train specifically for, and then I go on to things that I'm going to do as part of training, either for those events or to lead towards triathlon. If you've got any questions about any of this, please do let me know down below. So in my cycling club, we have many great riders. We've got some riders who have done a lot of racing, some who haven't, but a lot of strong riders. We've done a bit of crit racing, you might have seen over the last year or two. However, we've never had like a proper official team. We've never had any team goals, team ambitions until this year. We are doing the East Midlands Road Race League this year. Now, this is a road race league in the East Midlands, as the name might allude to. It's what's called a Regional A road race league, so it is for categories 2, 3 and 4. This means you'll get a good mix of people who are relatively new to road racing, as well as not elite riders, but there'll be some race teams in there, and perhaps strong riders from good club race setups and stuff. So it's going to provide us with a real good challenge. All of the courses are hilly, so it's going to be really tough, but I think we're ready to give it a go. I don't think we're going to be mixing it up at the front or breaking it up or winning things, but I'm going to say never. We've got some good riders. The main aim for this year is to get out, get as many bums on seats as we can, get out there, have a good time and see where that takes us. Now, what that actually looks like in reality is I'll talk you through these dates and events. These dates and events are provisional at the time I say this, so some of them might change. Don't write them down if you're interested in doing this league. To take part in this league, we have had to commit to organising a race. That's something else I'm doing as well later this year. So this road race league is a team effort. We can have 6 riders in each race. That means we need to pick a team. So something that's currently gone off in my head is there is a real risk / certainty at the minute that I'm not going to make this team, and that's absolutely fine. However, I really want to make the team. We currently have more than 6 people interested. We can put 6 riders in each race. Probably, due to people having commitments and things, that will whittle down a little bit, but I relish the opportunity to have to push and work hard and ride hard and train hard to put myself in a good enough position to be selected for the team. Now, I am pretty much running the team, so that puts me in a bit of an awkward situation. However, my clubmate Matt has agreed to help me. Basically, I don't want to be making the decision for myself to say, am I good enough to be in the team to potentially bump somebody else out or not? But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But what I want to get across is there's a risk that I don't do these races. I'm still motivated to go and support the team, but I really do want to do them. So let's have a look at dates and stuff. Now, these are provisional. Some of these might change, and we're actually waiting for 2 or 3 more dates to come through as well, but there's going to be 8 rounds essentially. So the first one starts, there's one in March that the date hasn't come through for yet, but we've got 15th of May in Loughborough, We've got the 2nd of July in Ilkeston. 17th of July, one that Derby Mercury are running. 21st of August, which will be my own event. The 24th of September, which is going to be what's called a national P race, which basically means the elite riders will be in that one. So that's going to be a little bit more interesting. But essentially, we've got a good calendar there of road races. They're going to be between 50 and 60 miles in total. So you're looking at 2.5-ish hours of racing. So it's going to be tough. And that's obviously on a road bike. So I'm going to come back to road racing training in a second. I just want to touch on time trial ambitions. Now, last year, I spent a bit of time perhaps chasing fast courses, trying to do fast times. I'm not as driven by that this year. I think it's all well and good going to a dual carriageway and doing a fast 25-mile TT time, but it doesn't mean anything for then going and doing a triathlon. It's good to do, and I've done that last year, so I can get an entry to a lot of time trials that I want to do. But I'm not so fussed about going a minute or two quicker. What I am going to do is utilise the local time trial league that aren't on fast courses but still have a good number of riders turn out to train, to get faster, to work on that sort of stuff. And now something that does really excite me is we have some team time trial ambitions this year. We'd hope to do 3 events. In reality, it's looking like, unfortunately, it's going to be 1 or 2. But the main one we're doing, and our entries are actually in, is the CTT National Team Time Trial Championships. That's a mouthful. That is on the 22nd of May. Taking part is myself, Matt Bagshaw, who you might know from, I did a 2-up TT with him last year. Him and I are very evenly matched on the time trial scene. And Lee Tunnicliffe, who you also might know, was the gentleman who did the National 24-hour TT last year and came 10th. So, a good team, right? We're all pretty evenly matched, and I'm hoping that we can do well. I don't for a second think we'll win it or place on the podium or anything, but we're going to go out there. It's 29 miles, it's predominantly flat. It should be us all over, well drilled. I love the idea of having to, draw up some sort of tactics for it. It's good for content because CTT let you have cameras on the bikes, so I'll be able to have cameras on the bikes with, the power overlays and stuff. And really look forward to that. As well as those, I mentioned the local time trial scene. So another local club to me is Matlock Cycling Club, and a lot of us join that club's second claim. It's not the closest one to us, but they put on a time trial series. They put on a series of Hilly time trials, midweek 5s, midweek 10s, all those sorts of things. I'm going to be trying to get to loads of them, to be honest, just to treat them as training. We'll ride over in the summer, do the TT and ride back, that sort of stuff. The first couple in the calendar are, there's on the 26th of February, there's a Hilly 25 miles. There's about 2,000 feet of climbing. It's probably going to be a road bike TT if I'm honest, but just to go out there, pin a number on, think of some sort of strategy for the event, ride up this power up the hills, this power down the hills, this power on the flats, all those sorts of things, just to get those juices flowing and just to get myself into the racing scheme, whilst also not having to have tapered for it, just do it as a bit of training. And then to get myself ready for road racing, there are what's called reliability rides, and some of you might have done these before. Now, I've done reliability rides a few years ago where you go out and it's just like a sportive but really low key, and you ride at a certain pace or an average speed and you'll get like a bronze award or silver award, whatever. Now, towards the front end of these reliability rides, particularly around here, you get a good standard of rider coming out. So local to me, we've got Adam Kenway, James Shaw, Ross Lamb, a few other riders who will go and do these things, and it's pretty much just hang on as long as you can, and that really excites me. Going and turning up and riding with a group who I haven't ridden before, perhaps. Some will be my club mates as well, but some of the people, different riding styles, surges, attacks, all those sorts of stuff. Now, these are on open roads and they aren't like proper events. There's no motorcade or commissaire or anything, so people do have to treat it seriously and ride sensibly, but you can still ride hard, can't you? So I'm going to be doing a couple of those. There's a Mansfield Big Red Ride on the 6th of March. I've done it on before. There's a Yellow Wood Reliability Ride in a couple of weeks. They're all about 50 to 60 miles, similar sort of terrain to what we were racing on, so really good preparation. In reality, I'm going to go and get my head kicked in, basically, and I think I just need that to keep me training. As well as that, I'm going to be doing a few different things. I'm going to a Stockport Town Centre crit, thanks to Adam who watches this channel. I'm also going to do the Etape du Tour in France. What else am I doing? Various other like cycling related things that come up that sound cool, maybe the Tour of the Peak or Peak Epic or whatever, just some things on bikes that are exciting, and we're going to be doing some more of those. Okay, so triathlon racing, probably the reason you're here. What am I doing this year in the triathlon world? Well, I'm going to half sort of work backwards. So my main aim for the year is Ironman Wales for 2 reasons. Firstly, it is a brilliant event. And secondly, if I don't make it my main aim of the year, I will really struggle to get round. So because of those 2 reasons, and of course I have the Kona dream in the back of my head as well, I'll cover that in another video. that's why my main focus for the year. So a lot of the triathlons I've picked are either on hilly courses or undulating courses, or just good training, etc. So let's go through the rest of the events I'm doing in the year. My first proper triathlon this year will be the Outlaw Woburn event. Now I say proper because I will probably do a sprint on Olympic distance in the lead up to that, but I don't know which one it'll be. I'll just see how my training goes, see what events are on, and just pick one to go and go through the race day, scenario, use race kit, go out, get out of the swing, go through your transition practice, all that sort of stuff, but I'm not going to focus on it. Outlaw Woburn is a new event this year. It's a half distance event, so a 70.3 middle distance, whatever you want to call it, 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, then a half marathon. New course, exciting. I don't want to slip into the habit of just doing the same races every year. I do want to go and try new events, and Outlaw events are brilliant. I've done so many in the past. Entries are now open. I'm not on commission. So I look forward to working towards Outlaw Woburn. I'll probably do a bike course recce video at some point in the next few weeks, because I'm going to go and recce the course. I like the idea that the bike is relatively fast, but there are a few lumps in there to make you think about it. The run course is probably undulating as well. It really excites me. I want to give that a good go. I then have, on the 13th of August, Cork 70.3. I'm going there for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I've never done an Ironman branded 70.3, so I did want to do one. I entered it a couple of years ago. Of course, it just keeps getting postponed for obvious reasons. But also, my friend Simon, who I used to live really close to, or Tri-Si as he's affectionately known, when I did Ironman Wales in 2019, he gave up a weekend with his wife Charlotte to come and support me at that event. Absolutely brilliant. He is doing the full distance race that weekend. There is no way on this earth I'm going to miss him doing his first Ironman full distance race. To see him in that sort of pain will really make it for me. So the event is on the Saturday, my event, the half distance, and the full event is on the Sunday. So that means I can go and do the race on the Saturday. Simon's wife Charlotte is also doing the race on the Saturday, so we'll go and do that. Liz is coming as well. And then on the Sunday, I can then support Simon all day. So it sounds like a brilliant weekend. Really looking forward to going to Ireland. I've never actually been to Ireland before. So yeah, Cork 70.3. Then of course, Ironman Wales, I've already mentioned. And then 2 weeks after Ironman Wales is Outlaw X. Outlaw X this year is actually the British Middle Distance Champs. So that's very exciting because that will pull a strong field there. I know the course very well. I've done the event a couple of times now. I'm hoping to be in good shape by that time. So I'm hoping that I can do Ironman Wales, recover for a couple of weeks, and then go and do Outlaw X in good shape, knowing the course, and try and have a good day. I'm not going to sit here and try and claim to do any sort of result, but I want to do the best that I can do. And that is the plan. You might say, that's not very many triathlons in a year, Daniel. Yes, I know, but there are 3 half distances and a full distance event in there. That's quite a lot of triathloning. And I might do the odd little local sprints like Derby Sprint this year, and a few other little local events, but I don't want to plan them in too soon or get them booked and entered and stuff, because I want to be able to change my year around if I see fit. And I really am trying to focus on, if I want to be good at any one thing, I've got to focus on that one thing. I think that's about it. I don't think I missed anything. I think the only other thing I wanted to say was, when I think about planning a year of events, nowadays I think about this, I think about what is good for YouTube and what isn't. Bike racing is not very good for this, like crit racing, because British Cycling don't allow you to have cameras on your bikes, whereas time trialing they do, so that gives me the option to do videos on the bikes with the power overlay, particularly team time trialing. I can't wait for that. Triathlons, of course, very good. Outlaw events, you get really good, up and close and personal people, so those sorts of things are great for this, and I bear that in mind when I'm thinking about what I'm doing. So there we go, 2022, let's do it. Let me know down below all the things I said earlier, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m.